Good morning.
Sorry guys. How are you guys?
No worries. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm very good. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time. Really appreciate it. Had to have like school team with my son yesterday, trying to get everything scheduled for next year. It's a big deal here. We do interviews. God knows what.
Oh yeah.
Joining the military.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Well, if he was back home, then he would have to at some point anyway, right?
That's true. You're right.
Yes.
Probably better than
Yeah. So it's
How we got good?
good, man.
Yeah.
It's yeah, we're good. We're good.
It's really windy here.
Update that. Talk to you guys tonight.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, we've I mean, honestly, the majority of what we've been doing just on the day-to-day is back to it's like we have daily meetings to where we're sitting down and we're staring at each other and it's like, what are we doing? Now, mind you, we put into action, you know, the stuff with the Instagram posts and things of that nature, and so we've you know, so we've been doing our posts and things like that, but it just feels like a bit of a stalemate and a standstill. But we had to look in the mirror and just reassure each other that this too is a part of the journey. And I was even telling my mentor Carl, the guy from FUBU that I was telling you about, the same thing, and he agreed. He was like, "Look, you're gonna have those, you know." But one of the things that I can say for sure is that in lieu of you know, what feels like a downtime for us in terms of like actual sales. I'm grateful for. Remember, I said I took on that position with that company, and it's been 1 full month. Today makes 1 full month, and I can't lie, it's been kicking my butt. But what it's doing though is it's teaching me exactly what I knew it would, and that's like business 101. Like, he's teaching me things that I would probably learn, but it might take me some years to get it. And that's because he has me. Say it again.
And will cost you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely, time and money and anything else. And so yeah, it's been kind of, you know, even with the month, it's still been that adjustment of being okay with the fact that the momentum in the way that we were used to it has slowed, you know, significantly. But what we are doing is just building the foundation, or strengthening the foundation rather. And so every day is like, you know, we're looking at each other like wanting to pull our hair out, but at the same time being like, all right, it's okay, we're in a good place. And so most recently, the owner of the venue of the club where we held our first pop-up reached out to me and said, you know, I want to do another one. You know, are you guys down? And so I'm like, heck yeah. We had already set a date on our calendar to do our first pop-up for inside here, which is actually scheduled for 1 day after the date he had in mind. So we've just been preparing this place. Like, we had the guys to come in to mount the TV, and you know, we went ahead and put up the step and repeat and just started converting the space to kind of get our minds in that place. So that was cool. Other than that, yeah, I don't think there are any more like
Major?
yeah, updates. Like, we've gone back and forth to where we mapped out some of the things that we've already discussed in terms of what our options are, and just to kind of see where we were. And you know, go ahead.
We looked at the website and the different templates that we can.
Yeah, we started a new website template
Right.
that we've started working on as well. So and we agreed that we don't like ours. We don't like
Right.
the one that we have now. So we've been working on it. Yeah, I mean, that's been about it. It's been like, it feels like downtime because a lot of what we're doing, I guess you won't see the effects of it until later. So in some ways, you know, like I said, that's been an adjustment.
Right, and we started our social media schedule. I mean, we drafted that, and we've been trying to follow that. We've also just recently made the decision again to create more video content.
Yeah.
So like a day in the life of, and just trying to document more of what we're doing.
Yeah. So it's like my days consist. Go ahead. Oh yeah. So my days consist of like 7 a.m. workouts. With Carl as mentor, and then I come back here, grab a quick bite to eat, and then I'm off to the office for the next several hours. I'm there like following up on leads and making cold calls, and even just doing like little menial things around the office. But it's like and so we want to capture that as well, and then take a night like last night. As soon as I leave, I come here, change, and then I'm off to go teach for 3 hours. So Laura grabbed the footage yesterday of me heading to the office, as well as heading out to teach, as well as footage of me in the studio. So that was cool. And then today we have that meeting with the club owner who wants to talk about the event, and then another meeting at a studio with some folks that we met at another vending event that we did back at the Kennedy Center several months ago, and she opened her brand new like boutique studio and wants me to teach. So she's been reaching out like, hey, come in and see the space. We're finally open. Would love to talk about getting you on board. So we're gonna capture all those things as well. And yeah, that's just part of. We're just gonna tell the story. I think one of the things that's dawned on us recently is people just kind of want to be along for the journey, and not everything is going to be polished. And we've been doing a lot of reading and listening to like videos and things from Gary Vee, and kind of got back on that. And when it comes to content. So we're at that point of place where we just want to push it out. And then we've also come to understand that it's not going to be overnight. We literally have to follow the course of action for 3 or 4 months, before we can really get a gauge on it. So it's just kind of preparing our minds to be patient for that as well. So just kind of one of those things. It's like, all right, do it. So that's what we've been doing.
When you're telling me it makes a lot of sense. I think it's absolutely the most not stressful, but the most frustrating part, because it's not that you're not putting work, you're putting work, but the thing that we all used to as humans is the fact that we put the effort in, we want to see something back right away.
Right.
If we want to see something right away, our minds start to wonder, are we doing the right thing? Is it worth it? Where are we going to go from here? Are we wasting our time? And all the stories that we focus is building in our head. And many times it's crap. It's really crap that we just fill our heads with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And actually, I did check your Instagram, and I saw someone, had a chance to listen to some of the videos that you were putting out there, and you actually even talked about the fact that, it's hard work. It's hard work. It's something that you put in, day out.
Yeah.
And the reality is, we all been there at certain stages where we do stuff and we don't see anything. The only thing is that, if you do it consistently enough, something good will happen.
Absolutely.
It might not happen the way you wanted it. It might not happen how you imagined it to be. But it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Maybe something else will happen, and that's what matters. And something will. The wheels are going to start moving. You push, the wheels are going to start moving.
Absolutely.
So the only thing in my mind is that everything you can really want to do is, as you're pushing, is just really keep your eye on it and kind of, see if there's things that you can evaluate as you go. So if you, for example, you're doing certain things in a certain way now on social media and content and things like this, so it's also a time for you to test things out. So
Yeah.
you guys decided that you're going with a plan for like 3-4 weeks and seeing if it gives you a result. Well, what kind of result give you? And then you're looking at it, shifting it, adjusting, move forward with, the adjustment. That's really what you can do, and it will. Now, the other thing is that, it might very well be that many times when you do these types of things, your audience is adjusting to it with you.
Yeah.
So maybe they're used to see something from you, or used to hear something from you, or whatever that is. And now it's a little different, maybe. Maybe it's just presented to them a little different. So, you know, some of them might adjust to it, some new ones will come in. So it is a process.
Yeah.
And truth is, any of those things, especially when it comes to marketing and branding, it's always a long view, never really a short view.
Yeah.
Because it's impossible to say, hey, I put an Instagram post today, and you know, you will get to it once you have consistency. You know, okay, these things work, and you'll get. I promise you will get to the point where you put something out there, and you know, I'm going to get some results from it because
Yeah.
you know we built the infrastructure for it. So you are absolutely what you said is exactly it. You're kind of building, strengthening the infrastructure. So it's part of it. It's just I do know that it's, you know, from a gratification point of view, it's not as fun because you're not really seeing something comes back to you.
But you're right.
As long as you yeah, I mean, and quite frankly, it's good that you guys see it both the same way because it's probably a situation where, you know, you guys kind of need to push each other when the other one feels down. You know, you kind of like, one of you might feel like, oh, I was doing the right thing, and then the other one can kind of, you know, hold you back and say, you know, yes, we are, and continue, and it will yield results. There's no other way around these things.
That's exactly what's happening. Sorry, bro. I was saying that's exactly what's happening. Honestly, we what you said about, you know, trying things is exactly the conversation that we've had. I was like, look, we just gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? If it don't work, so be it. And that's one of the things that Gary's been saying. He's like, you have to. And it's different people, different things that we've been reading and listening to are saying it in different ways. So, for example, Gary Vee says, like, you have to be in love with the game. He's like, part of the reason that people, you know, don't do what they have to do because it's exactly what you just said. Like, they think, oh, I put this in, I want to see results. They don't see results, so they give up, or they think, you know, something's off. He was like, but he's like, he was saying about himself. He's like, I'm in love with the game, and therefore I actually embrace losing because then, you know, losing sort of puts him in a position to where, you know, he knows how to maneuver forward. You know, he knows what things to avoid. He was like, so you have to be ready and willing to do that. But other things that we're doing is saying the same thing, but is using different language. So it's saying, you know, just the importance of being present. You know, just the importance of being present. And what you just said, like Carl said the same thing. He was like, yeah, you got to do the pop-up. He was like, because one of our things that Laura and I talked about was, you know, well, we had such a great turnout on the first, you know, that sophomore return is just like, you know, will we have the same? Will the people come back? You know, are we offering any new product that, you know, people can be excited about? And we were kind of just going through just some details about it, and we had to stop ourselves and say, wait, it doesn't matter if we do the same thing that we did before. We just have to go in, you know, with the right mind state and, you know what I'm saying, give love just like we did the first time, and it will be returned. And Carl was saying, he was like, yeah, you got to do the pop-up because whether you get the numbers or not, whether it's the same, you know, the same or similar vibe or not, he's like, you never know what's going to come out of that. You might meet someone who has, you know what I'm saying, who changes something for you, or, you know, any number of things. And so when you mentioned that, it was just like resonate. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you this, quite frankly, you know, it took me a long time to really, you just said about, you know, falling in love or loving the process.
Yeah.
The process. It's really what it comes down to because, you know, it took me, quite frankly, a long time to be okay with the fact that, you know, the process is the process. There are going to be things that I'm going to do right. There are going to be things that are going to suck. There are going to be things that I'm going to hate myself for doing. There are going to be things that I'm going to, you know, give myself so much fucking guilt for doing. But there's also going to be things that I'm going to be like, shit, that was amazing.
Right.
And the reality is, these are all feelings and things that you're going to go through in building your business.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. They are going to build your business. And, you know, if you're going to win one day, it doesn't mean that your business is going to grow. It just means that you won one day. But if you're going to go and you win and lose and adjust and do things one day down the road in the long term, whatever that time is, month, year, whatever, you're going to look back and you're going to see something built. There's a road behind you that you actually paid. And it's priceless to have that.
Right.
It's really priceless. The thing that sucks is that during that, you know, many times we just don't appreciate that. But if you really learn how to do that, and one of the things that I honestly blame myself for is, you know, I worked with a coach and he said something to me and he said, you know, you kind of need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
And it's true. Because, you know, when you start fighting it and be annoyed with it, your mind is not going to be clear to make the right decision. You're going to get into a pop-up like that, annoyed, and the vibe that you're going to put there is going to turn people off. And, you know, you're going to miss opportunities. But if you are going there with an open mind, and you know that this is, you know, just one other part in that road, you really don't know what will happen. I'll tell you this, I did, you know, a trade show where I didn't get anything from that trade show, like not even one order from it, okay? Trust me, if you think this was great, you put money for it, and it's eating you. You're like, stop, what is going on? What is that? Stop. And all of a sudden, I was there, you're the person who I met there, but I really didn't think anything of that maybe, I just was there, and then think it was nice, okay? And then maybe the distributor in Europe. And that was my whole business. That happened after the show. So you really never know how things would work for you. You don't really know who you're going to meet and what opportunities will be there. And I'll tell you this, as far as the pop-up or any kind of event, and really if we're talking about this pop-up event, is what I would encourage you guys to do is think of like things that you would like to have from that, but not necessarily relates to sales. In other words, you know, the goals can be other goals that still contribute to your business, but not necessarily translate into a dollar amount.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be, hey, we want to grow our mailing list. So how are we going to go about this and what can we put out there to grow our mailing list? We want to get food digits for our Instagram and social media. We want to, you know, put something out there that will make people want to come back the next time. So these little goals that are not necessarily related to money, but are related to the whole business, you know, what you're trying to